actually what we're looking for.
Okay.
What things are, what's your screen and table.
Got it. This is my house.
I know sometimes when you're in these and you're like, I don't know what to do, you feel like it's you, but it's not. Okay, so I'll have you just take a seat here to start.
Okay.
And then as we go through, feel free to stand up and move around the space as much as you
it's a
want.
movable one?
Yeah, depending on what you want to do. So
Okay.
I'll explain everything.
All right.
Let me just get my camcorder set up here. Okay. Yeah, so feel free to get situated. You can put your bag on the table over here. You don't want it on the floor. Actually, I'm going to move it here just to have more space on the table. And do you want any drinks or anything?
Do you have any water?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go grab a bottle of water across the hall. I'll be right back. Next time for you.
Thank you.
Okay. So just to get started, I'd like to ask you a little bit about like your background. So specifically, this is a VR headset, and I'm going to have you set it up today.
Okay.
So I want to see, what it's like to set it up for you, and then I'll have you kind of take a look at some of the stuff that's in there and get your feedback on that. So, have you ever used VR before or ever tried a VR headset?
Yeah, I have two at home. I have the PlayStation VR, and then I have the HTC Vive for the computer.
And is that the HTC Vive or the Vive Pro?
HTC Vive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So, what do you think about those?
I love it. I love the ability for the Vive that you can move around, that you're not as stationary and you have the ability to use your hands. The only thing that's annoying about the HTC Vive is that you have to hook up these things around the whole living room. And that tends to mess up with the RF, like when you're using the remote. If that's plugged in at the same time, it throws my entire remote off. That's a little annoying. And the PlayStation one, you're mobile. You're not mobile. You're just stationary. You're sitting down.
But when you say that messes up the remote, do you mean the remote like for your TV?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So my husband and I'm like, because we have like a whole TiVo set up and we have like a whole thing that it's not just like the ordinary cable remote, it's like a Harmony remote that controls like everything. So when you try to like control it, that gets in the way of like everything else in the house, so we have to unplug it in order for that. And I don't know if it's 100% that, but I feel like because when we unplug it, it works again, so I think that's like interfering even when you're not using it. If it's just plugged in, it interferes with the other things in the house.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you have some background in VR already.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see kind of what your feedback is about this stuff today. So like I said, I'm going to have you kind of go from the very, very beginning. Like, let's assume that you just bought this headset.
Okay.
And that this is like your living room at home.
Oh boy.
So like, just kind of do what you think you would naturally do at home.
Right.
As much as you can. Feel free to ask me questions as you go. I won't be able to answer all of them, but it's good for me to note what they are, even if I can't answer. But just generally kind of talk to me as you go. Tell me what you're thinking.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. So, that's the box right there.
Okay.
Go ahead and open it up, get started.
So I'm going to open the computer now because it says I need the app.
Yep,
so that's what I would do first. Yeah.
Let me log you in.
Okay.
So it'll have a password here. Come on. Okay. Oh, and I'm going to angle your computer just a little bit so I can see what you're doing.
Okay.
So what are you doing now?
So I opened Internet Explorer to download the app that it says. Oh, what happened here? I just have to retype it. Oh, I put support instead of setup. Hold a second. No, I just typed in the wrong thing. So I would install this on my PC, the app.
Okay, you don't have to do that now.
Okay.
But I'm glad you kind of got to this place.
Okay.
So I have it installed for you already, so let's
Okay.
just assume you installed it yourself.
Got it.
Let me get it open for you. So you go through this installation process, you wait maybe a few minutes. Okay, and then this is the page that you see. What would you do here?
Depending on if I wanted to attach it with Facebook, I normally don't like to attach things with Facebook, so I would say don't have Facebook, or I would put create an account. That's what I would do. So should I do that?
Wait just one moment. So you say you don't usually like to link things to Facebook. Tell me that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's invasive and it grabs all your information, and I do that even with everything. I do that not just with Facebook, with like if I'm signing into a store and it says, oh, sign in with your Gmail. I'm like, no, thank you. I'll make an account. And I just feel like I don't need more information to be shared on the internet with other things, and I don't like to link things. Just the other day, somebody like Googled my name and found out like my address and everything, and it was like posted on like these websites, and I don't remember. I'm sure legally they had the right to, was clicking like okay to agreements, but I just try to avoid that, so I don't link things to other things.
Okay. Good feedback. Okay, so you said you would choose the create an account. Okay, so what I'm going to do is sign into an account that I already have for you. Let's assume that this is the account you create. Okay, and then what I will do is I'll actually just bring you here.
Okay, so I would add a headset.
Okay.
And this would be I would look at this, Rift S, so I would click the Rift S.
Well, actually, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
So in the previous step with linking your account, there's potentially also an option to ask for inputting payment at that point. Is that something you would choose to do at that point?
You mean that like adding, like in the verse of making the account, and then it would say add a credit card?
Yeah, would you want to add a credit card or no?
Probably not. I wouldn't do it until after I see like the content and what's available. If it's something that's like an ongoing basis, like for example, I have my credit card saved in PlayStation because my son has always bothered me for V-Bucks for Fortnite. So I have my credit card information saved. I would have to see the content first if I was new to it to see if it's worth having a save and inputting it, because things get hacked all the time, and I'm not really worried because if my credit card gets hacked, I'm covered and I'll just get a new credit card. It's just annoying. And I wouldn't link it until I feel like it's worth the content. If it's something that I'm purchasing frequently, or if it's, I don't know, like coins and stuff like that, like I would purchase, that would be a reason why to store it. If it's just a one-time or a few-time purchase, I wouldn't store the credit card.
Okay. Yeah. If this was a headset that you just purchased.
Not knowing the content?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it in there automatically.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So go ahead and continue with whatever you were about to do.
So connect these two wires that I saw here. This is, here's a USB. There we go. And I don't know what this is. It's on the side. Is this, I'm assuming, to power or? I feel a little ditzy now.
No, that's at all. This is what we're looking for. So, what do you think it is?
I'm guessing it's power. So, is there something that I missed in here? I don't think so.
Okay. Is there anywhere else you would look for something that would tell you?
I looked in here. Oh. Something. Oh, okay. That's what I guess I missed.
Okay.
There we go. And this, I'm guessing, is for these. Okay. I'm guessing it's here. Here it is. Okay, so plug in the headset display port and then USB 3.0 cables to your computer. Okay, it detected the USB, but it did not detect this.
Yeah, actually turn this just a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready to try that? I don't know if it's the right thing. I'm guessing that's the only thing that I could plug it into.
Let's see.
I don't know if it's supposed to be that way, but it detected this right away. That's it. No, I think so.
Okay. So if this was happening to you at home, what would you do?
My husband. Angel, come figure this out. Because look, it recognized the USB right away. Now it's thinking again. And this doesn't seem to do anything here. And this is just safety and warning manual. It doesn't say anything about setting up.
Okay.
Yeah, I really, that's not really useful. I don't know what happened here though.
Yeah, so keep trying.
Okay.
If you were by yourself,
Yeah.
let's say Angel doesn't have his phone on him.
Oh boy. Let's try a different USB. Okay, that's not working. I don't know what happened before. It registered before, and now it didn't register.
So what would be your next step?
Probably Googling it. Like setting up Oculus, what's the name of this? Rift S.
Okay.
I would do that and then try to figure out what's going on. Because I'm guessing this is because this does not plug into the computer any other way, because this has this little slant here. And I know that's HDMI. These are two USBs on the side. And this is like the Ethernet, and this is headphone jack.
Okay.
And that's power. So when I saw this, I said, oh, okay, that fits. So
try plugging it in one more time.
Okay.
So I can tell you that this is not what's supposed to happen.
Okay.
But I definitely wanted to ask about like how you would kind of try to figure it out.
Okay.
So let me actually close this out and try this, opening this again.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, so let's try it. Try it one more time.
Okay.
Let's see if this resets anything.
Is this the way it's supposed to be, though?
What you had done previously?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Okay.
Try that.
All right. Okay. So I'll do this one.
Give them a minute.
And then I would just check this to see if maybe I would have to do something here. That would probably be another like step to see if there's like a power or something I would have to press here. Because being that it really, I mean, it just shows you what you're supposed to have here. It doesn't really show you like a quick setup. So I would just double check this to make sure if there was anything I would to press here.
Okay. Is there anything else you can think of resetting on here?
The whole computer.
All right.
Yeah, can I do that?
Yeah.
Is that okay? Should I click out of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and click out of that. Let's unplug these guys again. As you can see, since this is a prototype, sometimes prototypes don't always work the way that you expect them to.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's detected it right away, and then it wasn't detecting this, and then it wasn't detecting this. So.
Okay, let me log you back in.
Okay. Also, as a side note, with that little piece being in here, I was going to initially leave this in the box because I figured, oh, these are the instructions. That piece was hidden here, and if you're not looking for the instructions, you'd be like, oh, it's simple, 2 things. Like, all right, you may not know to look in here.
Okay. So placement of that was not.
Yeah, it's not really great.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you think, oh, this is all I need, until you try to plug this in and realize, oh, I don't have this port. What am I going to do? Does that get plugged into something else? And then I discovered it in the corner. And then the batteries like fell out at the bottom.
Okay.
Maybe some packaging or something, like a sticker or something to catch your attention. To say extra materials inside, or some clever way of doing
something
that.
Other than just the
leaving
little
it.
booklet.
Yeah, because you look at it and you're like, oh, you see this, and you see this inside, and you're like, oh, this is just a manual. Like, I don't need that, and then you just kind of put it aside.
Good point.
Okay, so I'm going to try again.
It's taking a little bit of time here.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to let it sit for just a minute. Sometimes it needs like a second.
Okay.
It's been running all day, so maybe it just needs a breather. I don't know. We do have a backup computer, so if we can't get this in the next few minutes, I'll just switch us out and have you do it on the other laptop, and hopefully that one will work.
Okay.
Just want you to get to the good stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure these are actually connected.
Yeah, that's why I tried the USB over here. But this gives you not much space to like separate.
Yeah, so is that something you would want? Is
Yeah,
to be able to actually reach around?
Yeah, because what if this USB is broken, right? And what if it's on a laptop? What if it's like the back of my CPU on the floor, and I'm plugging it in the back, but yet like my 2 USBs are broken in the back, and the one in the front works. Like, how am I gonna?
How are you gonna actually reach around?
Yeah, I can't do that, and that doesn't give you much space. It limits you.
Okay, I think I'm gonna switch this out to the other laptop we have.
Okay.
And see if we can get that working.
Okay.
Give me just a moment.
Okay.
Doing that, I'm going to try to log this out.
Okay.
And log this back in. I know this is not the best way to start today, but...
It's okay.
Okay, so let me sign in again. Let's see if this works at all. At this point, I don't think there's a reason to make you do this over and over. So I think that since you've already done this step. Okay. Moment of truth.
Oh boy,
that was it. There we go.
So I'm going to click continue.
Okay.
And then it says sensor complete. Sensor check. Continue. Controls are ready because I have the batteries inside. And it's going over this video that I do right here. Do you want me to put the sound on or?
Whatever you would do at home.
Oh, it says. It's not good. Oh, that's different.
What do you think about the sound coming out of there?
I like that because at home you have to put your own headphones on.
Okay.
So the only thing is because it's paired headphones here. And there's nothing on here. How are you supposed to hear this video? Like, are you supposed to just like put it up to your ear right here? Well, it's like, and then the music just stopped.
Do you find it to be a little weird that's
yeah, like
there when it's on your screen?
Yeah, it should be like auto detect, knowing that it's not. And the reason why I knew is because when I clicked here, it said headphone, then it said Rift S, so I figured, oh, it's coming from here. And then the sound just stopped.
So you're saying it should auto detect whether
Yeah,
you're wearing it.
Yeah,
and
just change the format here, or knowing that it's going over health and safety, and you don't have this on because nothing is projecting here. It's not like it said, all right, put the headset on, and then you're hearing the video and seeing the video from here. It should automatically play here, or tell you to put the headset on and put this in here.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little weird that it's like a mismatch.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I was fine going like this, and then it stops. So. Then I would press next. I'm thinking that it finished. Health and safety check. Okay. Acknowledge. And I guess it doesn't have any sound. Okay. So it's the video just playing over. Okay. So it says now put on your controllers and headset. So I would say put the controller on first.
Is that what you expect to do?
Yeah, because then once you have this on, how are you going to see that? Where are you going to find the controllers? This would have to go in first. Make sure the controllers. Oh, that went too fast. I just have to see that one more time. I wasn't really paying attention. Okay, so the controllers. Alright, so the controller with the button is on your right hand. Did I put this one right? I think so. Adjust the strap. Okay, so strap first. No, I restarted again.
So tell me about that.
Hold on, I'm just going to click forward to it. So that way I don't miss what. Okay. So that first, this first, then the strap. Okay. So I'm going to put this on?
Well, what would you do with this one?
Put it on and adjust it? Okay. Move my bags. My bags always get in the way for everything. Okay. Strap is fine. And then it said, oops, I forgot what it said. Oh, I think there was a button here. First lens comforting already. Okay, alright. No, I don't need that because I don't have glasses. So that is okay. 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 Now it says it's ready, so I press continue here.
Okay.
Okay, move this into your replay area, put on your headset, and follow the instructions you see on the VR. So now I would get up, move to my area, just move this out of the way. Alright. Oh, that's cool. I can see you through this.
Okay.
It's a little blurry, but I don't know if there is any adjustment for that.
How would you try to adjust it? Like, how would you figure that out?
I'll probably take this off and look to see if there's any, because I know the other one that I have at home you can adjust it. I know this is for glasses, and that's the only button on there.
What adjustment are you looking for?
For a vision, because I know the one I have at home you can adjust it to where it puts it like closer to your face to adjust it to your eyes, so it's not so blurry.
So it adjusts lenses so it matches your eyes.
Yeah.
Is that something you would want?
Yeah, just because I don't like to, when things are blurry, it gives me a headache. So I would definitely want something that it could check the clarity to make sure that what I'm seeing is okay.
Okay. So without that adjustment...
And it's not a huge issue, but it's just something I would prefer.
Okay.
So I'm just reading what it says here. It helps you stay within your play area. If you get too close to the edge of your play area, the garden boundary, your setup will be visible in your VR experience. So I guess I would be setting up. Let me see this here. Am I holding this the wrong way? I think it's like this.
Why did you think you were holding them the wrong
And
way?
I just felt more comfortable like this for some reason.
Okay.
And then the joystick is here, so that's how I know I'm holding it the wrong way.
Okay.
And plus, on the video it showed, but it wasn't very clear. Oh, I guess yeah, because his fingers were going through the circles. So, I think I have this on the wrong way. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So you're switching your hands?
Yep, switching my hands. Oh, I'll put this down. Did it say left and right?
Is that something you would expect on it?
Yeah, just like a quick, just before I go ahead and put it always on. I want to see like left and right. We put this on. Okay. Step forward direction, facing the direction you want to see the set up. Forward and press any button. So, okay, so let's forward. Look down with vertical grid, move the grid down by gently touching the floor with the controller. And then stand up. Oh, okay. I guess.
So tell me, why did you make that bigger?
Because it said it said really quickly that some games may require you to have a 7x7 space.
Okay.
So I just moved the chair and made that space.
Okay.
It says now you have a recommended play area for your room scale experience. You create additional space added to your play area or continue to play. So I'm going to do continue. Accordion set. This is your play area boundary. You get a warning if you're close to the edge, which I see the edge. Look around the room to check the boundaries, select position, and clear of any obstructions. Good.
to Oculus. After this tutorial, you'll be ready to explore. First, let's get to the Guardian system. Look around you. This grid wall is the Guardian system. This grid shows the boundaries of your play area.
Do you see the grid right now?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Just making sure.
Okay.
Look around you. Stand in the glowing footprints on the ground. Face the screen. It's time to learn about your Oculus Touch controllers. Now, try pressing all of the glowing buttons with your thumbs. Try moving the thumbsticks around. The thumbsticks can also be pressed like buttons. Next, use your index fingers to squeeze the triggers on your controllers. Rotate the grip buttons and squeeze them with your middle fingers. Now let's see what your virtual hands can do. To make a fist, squeeze the grip with your middle finger and hold it down. To point, keep squeezing the grip and just lift your index finger. Now use your index finger to push the button in front of you.
Oh.
To pick up an object, squeeze and hold the grip button with your middle finger. Try reaching out and grabbing one of these blocks. Release the grip button to drop it.
Nope.
Your virtual hands can do just about anything. Go ahead, play with some of these items. When you're ready to explore another virtual world, insert the cartridge into the console. You've got the basics down. Time to explore all that VR has to offer. Have fun.
just think of moving on.
Okay.
And put in the next cartridge. Whichever one you think that is.
Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, gold.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of just let you explore this for a few minutes on your
Okay.
own.
Oh, okay. Well, it says no internet connection or can't verify the account.
So what happened there? And then you just gone now?
Yeah, I'm just in a void.
Go ahead and click on, well, what would you do if you were faced with this?
Probably lift up my mask and go look at my computer.
Okay.
Should I do that?
Yeah, go ahead and do whatever you would do. Yeah, so I can minimize this because this is actually my thing that I'm using to look at what you were looking at.
Okay. Oh, there we go. So maybe it's back on. Okay. Now I'm out of the void.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, no, back in the void. I stepped out of that little area.
So it's all just gray?
Yeah.
Are there any buttons or anything you would try to press to try to get up that menu again?
Oh, I forgot about that button. There we go. If I remembered that there was a button here, the Oculus button,
Okay.
I would press that. Just
Go
go back
ahead.
home.
Go ahead and quit app.
I'm sorry? Oh, quit app? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait there. I'll close that. Don't forget this one. Okay. That's hand.
So is that something you think you would have known to do if you were kind of by yourself doing this?
If it was my first time, no.
Okay.
Because they didn't put like an emphasis on the training video on to press this to get kind of like a home button. So I would try to find it on my own. Select. Oh, now see, now it says Oculus on here, but it doesn't really explain like what it's for. Select what? Oh. Push forward on your thumbstick to choose vertical. Oh, it's this thing. Oh. I can choose anything?
Yeah, do whatever you would do. So which one did you choose?
Place.
Place? Okay. Actually, I'm going to have you pause right there.
Okay.
Actually, give me 1 minute. Yeah, okay, sorry. I will not have you pause. Go ahead and explore for another few minutes, and I'll just have some questions for you. Okay, so now that you're in here, I want to know what you want to do in VR. So go ahead and find something that you want.
Okay. Oh, I think I pressed the wrong thing again. Go back.
Why do you think that?
Because I think there's one selection button. I think that's the X, and I was looking at something with my left hand that was not what I originally wanted. Wait. I thought I clicked the boxing thing. Right? So I want to click. All right.
Okay.
Okay, there it is.
So is this what you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay. So how would you decide that you want to buy this?
I would look at the video, read this right here, see the rating.
Okay.
The detail, the ratings right here.
So what information is most important to you here?
The video.
Okay.
Because, this is like the rating plays the end, so like the least important, because if I feel like it's fun, then I would do it, and I would buy it. Also probably a demo. I don't know if I would outright just pay $24.99 for something, not knowing that's going to be a waste of money. I would want more than just the video. I would want to kind of test it.
Okay. So you'd rather kind of test things out before you actually commit to it.
I'm not going to commit to 25 if I don't like it.
Okay, so do you think this game would work in your play space that you set up?
I would think so, yeah.
Okay. How do you know that?
Because it said some games require 7x7 and I should be set up for everything.
Okay.
By 7x7.
Alright, so now I'm going to have you find a specific title.
Okay.
So this one's called Dead and Buried.
Okay.
So go ahead and try to find that.
Okay. And I'm buying this game, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to have you actually buy it.
No, I'm saying that's where I would go to.
Yeah, how would you find a game that you want to buy called Dead and Buried?
Oh, great. Store, and then I would go. No, I would think that there would be some kind of search. What's the game? I'm just going to go to browse all, and if it's in ABC order. You said it's a game, right?
Yes, it's a game.
Okay, I think you can scroll down, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
How to scroll down? I see the scroll bar.
How are you trying to scroll right now?
By pressing the button.
By clicking on that bar?
Yeah,
Okay.
Or kind of grabbing it and as you would do an iPad.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not swiping, and I don't know what kind of game it is.
Okay. Is there another way you would be able to find it?
Games. Dead and Buried. That sounds like. See again, my paddling. Scroll. See all.
Okay.
Oh. Or is it something?
Since we're a little behind on time, just because I was setting that time troubleshooting.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there you go. So tell me a little bit about how that worked.
That's a little
difficult.
No, it's a little difficult because if I was looking for Dead and Buried, I should have went to games and like been able to type it in, and then this should have came up immediately. I shouldn't have had to like look around for it. Nor do I want to look around for something that I already know the title of.
Okay. So you should be able to basically search for it.
Yes, and type it in, being that you have full control over the finger and you can type very quickly.
Okay. All right. So is this kind of what you would expect to see?
For like an overall view of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in terms of how you were searching for it, kind of the way that the little titles were set up and everything, is that kind of what you would expect to see there as well?
Yeah, I would just hope that you can scroll by being able to scroll.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now imagine that you need to adjust your guardian boundaries. How do you think you would be able to do that?
I think there's a menu button around here somewhere.
Okay. I won't have you actually do it, I just want you to...
I would probably go home.
Okay.
And go to settings.
Okay.
Guardian. And boundary, reset guardian.
Okay, don't press it though.
Okay.
I'm not going to have you go through the whole thing. Just wanted to make sure you knew where it was.
Okay.
So now that you're in here, I'd like you to try to adjust your volume.
Oh, okay.
Where would you look for that?
Headset? With the audio output right here.
Okay.
See how you can, the scroll bar?
Mm-hmm.
That is how the other one should be. How you click it and you're able to control it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So is that how you would expect to see it?
The video, the audio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, all right. I think it's time to have you take a pause.
Okay.
Take the headset off.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you fill out part of the survey for me.
Okay.
It's right over here, so I'm going to move this chair for you.
Okay.
Since we have all sorts of things on the table.
I think it's sweaty.
Yeah?
I always get so sweaty, yeah.
How do you feel about that?
No, it's a normal thing.
It's normal?
It's normal for any VR headset. I was even watching the show and they had people come into like one of those VR stores, but they haven't put on a face mask to cover the sweat, because I know at my personal house when I have friends come over, I put like a napkin there because who wants other people sweating their personal thing? So
with sharing, it seems to be like
a little
more of an issue,
skeevy.
maybe?
Yeah, not for home because it's family,
Okay.
but for other people and you're sweating.
Yeah.
I've had other, as soon as I got the HTC Vive, I had other people because it fully immerses you and you feel like you're really there. So I had friends come over and I said, put a napkin here because it gets very sweaty. And then there's no really way of cleaning that, like taking it off to clean it, so it gets a little sticky at times.
Okay.
So I'm just going to fill this out.
Yeah, go ahead and fill that out. At a certain point, it'll tell you you're done with this portion of the survey. So then at that point, just stop and let me know.
Okay.
And as you're going, go ahead and let me know if there are any questions that seem confusing to you.
Right.
Some of these you may not have seen these features yet, so go ahead and answer all the questions as best you can.
Okay. when it says that how helpful and helpful was the menu in highlighting important features, the menu inside the VR game, or like, because we just talked about setting it up. Is it talking about once you're in the VR, that like menu like on your hands, or the menu once you're inside, or is it talking about something else?
I can't give you a specific answer.
Okay.
So just kind of interpret it the way that you think it should be interpreted. So which menu do you think it's talking about?
I think it's talking about like the one that I saw highlighted is when you have your hands inside and it tells you like this does this, this does that.
Okay.
And you looked at it as soon as you looked at your hands. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I didn't get to do, so I'm going to say neither easy nor difficult because I'm
Okay.
I didn't do it.
Yeah, like I said, just answer to the best of the knowledge that you have.
Okay. Okay, it says at the end, so I click. Should I click the arrow key? It says at the end, please let the moderator know.
You're good. You can just leave it as is.
Okay.
And we're going to do the second half after reading the next part.
Mm-hmm. Can I use the bathroom for the
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Here, I'll walk you down the hall.
Okay.
Just because it's a little maze-like, so
Oh boy.
it's good to know where it is. Alright, so come on in, go ahead and put your headset and controllers back on.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
So this is where you were before.
Yeah.
Real quick, when you put the headset back on, how comfortable was the headset the first time when you were wearing it?
Comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would adjust differently?
Just the. I don't know if that's. It's a little blurry, like when I stand up, but when I go down to the wording, then it gets clearer. So I'm not sure if that could be adjusted, but that's the only thing.
Okay. So what does that say on the bottom there?
Right there, IPD.
Mm-hmm.
Set your IPD, the distance between the centers of your eyes to optimize the scale of objects in UVR. Oh, so you could do it here.
Okay. Is that where you would expect it to be?
Well, I don't know. Because I'm used to it on the other headset, and if it was bothering me that much, I would click it, click around to see if there's anything that could be done. So I would change this.
So I'm not going to have you change it now,
Okay.
just because we're running a little late on time because of my troubleshooting stuff.
Okay.
So I'm just going to, unless it's really bothering you.
No, I mean, I have a slight headache, but it's not that big of a deal.
Okay. Are you sure you can do another 45 minutes without? Okay.
45?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's about how much we have left.
Okay.
So let me know if it's starting to bother you, if your headache's getting bad.
Okay.
We can go in.
All right, no worries.
Okay. All right, so go ahead and exit out of this.
Okay.
How would you do that? Okay. So now tell me, how would you describe the environment around you?
It looks like a house. I'm guessing from what I read on the survey this is like my home. So I guess I could set things up the way I would like it to.
Okay. So if you're going to return to that menu dashboard, how would you do that?
Oh, I would press the Oculus button.
Okay.
Yeah. This is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can click out of that again. I just
Okay.
wanted to check. So what would you do now?
Oh, wrong button. Select.
What are you trying to do?
I don't know, just trying to pick it up, I guess. Select. Like to place it somewhere else.
Okay. So, what is it saying on your left hand?
Oh, press the menu button to open up your home menu. Okay, so this is the menu button? That's it, that's the menu button.
Okay.
And select help to access the tutorials, select start to begin any tutorial. Right? This is kind of in the way, but alright.
Why is that annoying?
That's in the way. I don't know what this says here because it's blocking it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that say?
Underneath here?
I think it's blocking it.
Yeah. It says select help to access tutorials, select start to begin any tutorial.
Okay. But you wouldn't want that to overlap?
No, I wanted to move on the side because I want to see what it's doing here.
Okay.
Oops, wrong button. Okay, so to add a menu. This is kind of intrusive. Like it's right in my vision.
Too close?
Yeah, it's like you should be able to get rid of that if you want to.
Okay. So go ahead and press that button again one more time.
Which one, the menu?
Yeah, on your left controller.
Okay.
Okay, so how would you move forward with what it wants you to do here?
Let's help to access your tutorials right here. Oops, wrong button. Alright, so moving objects, grab and move objects in Oculus Home. Let's start with that. Where did it go? Don't grab. Okay. Move the objects to the location with the thumbstick and release the grip button. Oh. Okay. It's very close. Like if I'm holding like this, it's right in front of my face.
Okay, so you want it to move farther out from
Yeah. Point at any object and squeeze the grip button. Press Y, B or Y to put the button away. Okay. Press the menu button to open up your home menu. Add new objects to place your own. Come on.
What are you pressing to select that one?
I'm pressing the X, which I use to select the other stuff,
Mm.
and it's keep kicking me out and telling me to go back home.
Okay. So why did you press the X?
To select it, like how I did these other two.
Okay. So go ahead and try your trigger finger instead.
Oh, okay.
See if that works.
No.
That one doesn't work?
No, I'm going to try my other hand. Nope. It just kicked me out and told me to go back to menu again. Add objects to your place, so place, I guess. Click here to open the main menu button. Alright. Oh boy.
What do you say, oh boy, about?
Oh, because it's right in front of your face. Like when you're holding it like this, comfortably, the little black thing comes up very close. So you have to pull it away to read it the right way.
Okay, so again, it's kind of that same issue.
Yeah, it's very intrusive, yeah.
Coming up really close to you. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know what happened here. Oh. I'm saying something. I don't know how I flipped that. Alright, that works.
Okay, real quick, I just have a quick question for you
Mm-hmm.
before I'll let you kind of continue. How do you move around your play space?
It's telling you to like click. I don't know how I did it before. Oh yeah, so you're clicking, you're finding the area you want to go to. How did I do that before? Oh, no, in front of the couch.
Yeah, so what do you click? You said you click to find the area you want to go to. What do you click
I
down?
don't know what I did. I'm on my right hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just press down on the trigger.
Okay, so you just press down.
Yeah.
Okay. And you move
Or I can move.
You said you press down on the trigger to do it?
Yeah. Yeah, or you can move around. Oh. I'm on my boundary. You can't move this up and down and only left to right? I'm not sure.
So real quick, kind of about the moving around the space.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll tell you, what you actually do is you use your thumbstick.
Mm-hmm.
So if you press that forward, that should be the thing that actually kind of moves you around.
Okay.
So after hearing that, what do you think about that? What do you think
okay. So then if the space is big, too big for your grid, then you bring it to where you want and then you can interact or move around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, that's
so
pretty cool.
How do you think about how that works? And what do you think could have helped you kind of know that?
Again, just having something here, a little pop-up, I guess.
Okay, so you expect a pop-up.
Yeah, I think it went through it in the beginning, but it was kind of very quick and I didn't pay attention to it.
So it's too fast to really see what it was talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll give you a few more minutes and then I'll break again and we'll do the rest of that survey.
Okay. I hit the grid. I think I see the grid. That's good. Oh, and it tells me, I like that it tells me which way I'm facing. So now if I'm facing this way, I know that this is how I started.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, see, now it's working. Because before it didn't allow me to
move it like that?
Yeah. Maybe it's just a system that is a little glitchy, but yeah. It's floating in the air.
Excuse me.
Oh, see, look, that lets me move it up and down.
Okay, since we have about half an hour left,
Okay.
I'm going to have you take off the headset
Okay.
and finish the survey.
All right.
And I'll say, when you're filling out the survey, once you get to the last page, do not click submit.
Okay.
Because I want to actually look at the last page with you and talk about it.
Got it.
Okay, so just go ahead and, actually, let me input something real quick.
Okay.
I'm actually going to maybe show this
Okay.
real quick. Okay, let's go ahead and finish that. They'll bring us some water.
Okay.
You can grab a snack too if you want. We do have some food.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so it's end of survey.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let me grab that computer. I'll have you roll over closer to me so it's easier to chat to each other. You can kind of come back over here. And So, just about this last portion you did, where you kind of like gave a rank order, a bunch of different tutorials.
Yeah.
So I just want you to kind of go through and explain to me why you ordered them the way you did.
Yeah. Because if this was for home, I would want to know how to decorate. Because at first going in there, I didn't know what the purpose of it was for. I think I clicked it by accident, and it was all piratey, like pirate kind of area. I wasn't sure what it was until we kind of like went into it. So that would be the first one that I would feel is the most important. So explain what it is, and then if you have a home, you want to decorate it to where it's yours. So that's why I put this moving objects. First, you want to figure out like what is it and what you have, and then to move what you have and to put what you have away or to move things around. Gateways, I guess, to where you can go from there. And then launching a game, because if you're there, you want to play a game. I'm sure you're not just there to just mess around with your home stuff, unless you're probably like my sister-in-law who loves like making things her own.
Okay.
But usually you go and you make something and you want to play.
So you feel like, okay, so just to kind of recap, so the home space and the moving stuff, you mentioned that like you didn't get that information at first, and that's why you feel like it's important?
I feel like it did go over it really quickly, but I still didn't see what was its purpose of. It didn't really like walk you through and say, oh, you're going to have a home and this is where you're going to be your home base. I feel like it needs a little bit more emphasis on what it was, because even though we kind of quickly went through it, I feel like it needed a little bit more emphasis on what this really was. Because maybe I just wasn't paying attention to it because I really wasn't looking for it and I kind of overlooked it. But it wasn't clear as in saying, this is going to be your home space. You can decorate it if you want. Like something like a video to kind of walk you through it. Mm-hmm. That's why I put it as high, because if you're talking about your virtual home, I want to know what that virtual home can do. So that's why I put the things for the virtual home on the top.
Okay, cool.
And then avatar customization, I guess having an avatar would be for what other people see you as. I would hope or think that if your hands are a different color or a different shade, that you can kind of change that to your shade of color.
Okay.
And customizing, I guess, what people see on the outside. When I think avatar, I think of like full body, like avatar. I don't know I know you can play online with other people. I don't know what other people would see you as that avatar, as that's what they mean. Reward packs. I would want to see that as far as like what kind of reward packs, and then achievements, and then buying a game would be low down on there, because if I'm interested in a game, you don't really have to show emphasis on that. I'm pretty sure I'd be able to do it on my own. And then recommending homes, I don't see how that's the last, because I don't see how that would work.
Okay.
Like, that's the least important to me.
So you feel like recommended homes least important.
Yeah.
And then the buying a game, you feel like you would know that without.
Yeah, like I don't.
So that's why achievements and reward packs are kind of in the middle there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because those are the things that I'm not. I don't know. I like buying a game. When we went to say, okay, how would you look for this game? That was pretty straightforward. The home and decorating stuff, that was a little confusing.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more? You said recommended homes is not important. Mm-hmm. Tell me what recommended homes like means to you. How do you
styles of setups? Like I don't see how we could recommend anything without knowing me as a person. So maybe having you fill out something online or kind of like get your style, then you can recommend a home. Or how many homes were there be to choose from? I'm not even sure.
Okay.
Yeah, how would it recommend based on what information?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's more about like, it doesn't really know you yet.
Yeah.
So you're not sure how it's deciding what to recommend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that pirate thing wouldn't be for me, that pirate house.
Okay.
Right, if it recommended that.
Okay. Okay, I think you've explained that pretty thoroughly.
Okay.
So, so a bunch of follow-up questions for you on that. Let me just submit this for you, actually, so that we record your responses. Okay. So, when you initially went into that virtual home space, I just want to know what your initial impression was.
I didn't know what it was. I think I overlooked it. I'm trying to remember. I just I think I pressed the home button, and I think I was so focused on finding what you were telling me to do. I think you were telling me to look for that game, or to go, like, if I wanted to find a game, that I wasn't really focused on the initial part of it. Because I think that's what happened. We were looking for a game, and then all of a sudden I was thrown into, like, the space, and I wasn't sure what the space was.
Okay.
And then I know I had the things on my hand where it could say, like, go to menu, and this is, like, grab, but I wasn't really paying attention to it.
Okay, so it's kind of, you're paying attention to what I was telling you to do, and then focusing on the menus to try to find those things.
Yes. So I kind of, like, overlooked, like, the home thing. I got it, like, once you explained, like, what it was, or I put the headset back on, and I kind of explored when you said, oh, press that menu button that it's asking you, then I kind of got the idea that you're home. And then I also got the idea that you're home from the survey, because it asked about, like, the home stuff.
So it's actually after you saw the survey, that's when
you
realized
I was like, this is the home. Oh, okay, I get it.
Okay.
Yeah. But it wasn't clear, it wasn't straightforward, like, entering. I feel like it should have some, like, introduction saying this is your home. How would you want to design your home first? And not just throw you into some, like, pre-designed home. It should take you to some kind of tutorial where it says, like, pick one of these three, and you kind of get a basic space, and you kind of design it your own, and then it shows you, like, a tutorial, like, oh, you can pick from these, like, spatial, like, spaced areas, like, themes, I guess, you know? A theme that you would like.
Okay, so basically you want to be able to, like, have it say, this is what the home is, and why don't you pick a theme to start out with?
Yeah.
And then that's how you would know.
Yes, not just throw you into, like, a pre-set theme, and I was like, oh, pirates, okay. Is this a game? That's what I thought at first. Like, it was the game, pirate game, and then I was supposed to do something there.
Okay. So, is there anything else you think that could have been made clear to you about, like, what the virtual home space was?
Yeah, when you first enter it for the first time, like, being that this was my first time setting it up, it should automatically walk you through what the home was and what kind of space it is. I mean, I'm still unclear, like, if you walk in your home and you have, like, a set of games that you've purchased, are you going to go inside your, like, drawer and, like, pick the game? Is that the purpose for it? Or, like, have things like you would have set up in your own house? I think I'm thinking about, like, my own setup at home. I have the TV in the middle, and, like, underneath the TV is, like, a little, what do you call it? It's, like, this high, and has, like, all of our systems and stuff, and there's a drawer, and underneath each drawer is, like, the Xbox, and then the games are underneath the drawer of the Xbox. Like, is it going to be that kind of setup? And then it was asking on the questions, like, how much time would you spend in your home? I don't see a purpose of the home if it doesn't store things and, like, show things, and if you can invite people to your home, then you can kind of show off, like, awards that you've gotten, or, like, achievements you unlocked, and have, like, a wall of success or something. Like, what is the point of having the home if it doesn't store anything? I'm sure it probably does, but that's how I would think, like, your purchase things and everything you have would be in that space. That's the only reason why I could see a space being functional.
So you would expect it to have kind of, like, a physical manifestation, like the things that you have.
Yes.
Games or achievements
or otherwise, or, like, avatar outfits, you know, like, you buy outfits and you buy hats and stuff like that. Things that you could show, like, you would bring somebody in your house and give them a tour of your house. They see all the things that you've accumulated, right? Like, I know when people come to my house, in my son's room, he has all of his awards and everything on the wall. And that's, like, a talking point. When they come in, they see all of his achievements and everything hung on the wall and all his Taekwondo stuff.
Okay.
And that's what I'm thinking of, a space. Space is yours, and you have things, and then when people come over, I have, like, all the pictures in the living room, and that's, like, a focal point, and that's, like, a talking point. They look at pictures of my family. I'm just thinking that's the only reason why to have a home, to show things, not just for decoration purposes, because you have some people that just like to decorate things, like people like my sister-in-law who will make avatars look like her, and I don't understand how she does it, and spend hours on an avatar. But if you're not going to use it for a purpose, then I don't understand the space of having a home space.
So you don't understand the purpose of having a home space if you're not doing that.
Those
if
kind of
you're
things,
not kind of, like, putting your achievements on the wall, and collecting your games where you can see them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because then why would you spend time in that space? Unless you're decorating it, but then once you're decorating it, taking the time to decorate is going to take a long time, but then once it's up and decorated, you know, you may get like one piece that you want to change, and what would other be the reason why you're spending time in that house.
Okay. So you said that, like, if that's not the goal, then you're not sure what would you say the goal is of it right now?
It just feels like a home base to start and to be comfortable in your surroundings, I guess. Like to decorate it to where you start, you're like, oh, this is my place, I like it, and then, all right, let's get started. But that's what I see that it is right now. So I didn't, you know, explore it enough, or play with it enough, or customize it enough to me. Mm-hmm. But that's what it feels like right now. Just a starting space, a home base for you to start, and then to get like into your games and stuff.
Okay. All right. So for you, how much do you think you'd use that home space compared to like playing games or going into other content?
If it didn't serve any of the purposes I was talking about?
If it was as it is right now?
Not much time. I would just launch it. Like, I may customize it because I may not like that theme so much. Okay. I would just change it, just to have something that I like. But it really wouldn't make an impact. I would just, if I'm putting on my VR, I'm going to go play a game. So I would just go in and launch it, and that's it.
Okay, so even if you were able to kind of customize the whole thing to what you would want,
right,
even then you would still not spend as much time.
Yeah, because then what else am I doing in there? Once it's customized, right? Like I said, like once I customize the full thing and I'm comfortable with what it looks like, what else am I doing in there if there's nothing else to do?
Okay, so, all right, so if you think back to when you first kind of entered that space, which I know you've already talked about a little bit, right, so let me know if we've already answered the same questions. So do you remember what happened when you first entered that space?
I think I pressed the menu, and then we entered that space, and then it had the guide on what to do with my hands. So I was holding the remote. I remember the remote, and like press like the menu button, and then it said like hold and like to do what to do, like the directions. And I was kind of overlooking that, and it wasn't until you said like, oh, what does it say to do on your hand? That black thing that wouldn't go away. Then I paid attention to this, and then it brought me to the tutorials. Okay. Because I remember I was trying to learn how to grab something. And then it showed you how to grab it in the tutorial.
All right. So, did you? What kind of tutorials did you experience?
The moving the furniture tutorial and how to put things away and delete things, because the other tutorial didn't work. Remember, I was having the trouble clicking it. It would just kept bringing me back to the home screen. Okay. So those are the two things that I saw, which was pretty straightforward. Once I learned how to do it, then I learned how to move the furniture and delete an item.
Okay. Move furniture, delete items.
Yeah, add an item.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I think you mentioned earlier about moving around the space. Did you see anything?
Oh, yes, that's right. I think originally it had like something, but I wasn't paying attention to it. But it did explain it. I remember saying something with the trigger.
Yeah, and I think earlier you said it was too short to kind of pay attention.
Yeah, because I wasn't really paying attention. Like something, it would be like right in the middle, kind of like what it was showing here, like how to put on the headset, like something that's right in the middle and you're forced to watch it, versus something just in your hand and you could just, like once you click a button, it'll go away. Because then how do you get back to it if you didn't remember? Okay. So it should force your attention or demand your attention by having a video or something in the middle that shows what to do.
Okay. All right. So did you find those tutorials that you saw interesting or engaging?
Yeah, I mean they were short, straight to the point. I don't know. Interesting as far as like, it would only serve a purpose to teach me how to do something. So I wouldn't really say interesting. Okay. It was straight to the point and it served its purpose. Okay. Yeah.
But not something you would do for fun?
No. Okay. If I knew how to do it, I wouldn't go to the tutorial. Maybe go to the tutorial to like, if you go to the tutorial, then you'll unlock like something. Okay. Like some kind of reason to watch the tutorial.
So, how easy or difficult was it to understand the tutorials you saw?
Very easy.
Okay. Sounds like except for that movement one where it
because it didn't have a tutorial on the movement. It wasn't really a tutorial. It just kind of showed you the buttons to move, I think. Yeah, I just wasn't paying attention. If I was paying attention to it, then would remember, but I just kind of dismissed it very quickly.
Okay. So not really considered a tutorial.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the tutorials are like it's only showing you how to do this, and it's kind of forcing you, because when I think of tutorials, I think of like either video tutorials or tutorials to where you can't do anything else unless you try this, right? Like if I needed to pick this up in VR worlds, right, and you needed to learn that, even if I was doing something with this hand or I wanted to start a game, it's not going to let you do anything, but it says pick this up with this and do that. Like the tutorial when I first started it, the robot. Mm-hmm. Was it the robot? Or a tutorial prior to that, it just showed you like what to do with the hands.
The controller.
Yes, yeah, it was prior to the robot, and then you had no choice but to do that only.
Okay.
So those are the kind of tutorials that makes you pay attention to what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would want it to like slow down, force you to actually do it, as opposed to just being able to skip through it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was helpful during tutorials? Was there anything helpful?
Everything you're talking about in general, like everything we went through?
Yeah, so like these 3 that you saw.
Yeah, I like the beginning where it told you like what to do with your fingers, because I thought that was really cool, and how you could pick up where it said like, I picked up the first thing was the paper plane. Someone showed you like, all right, if you have your fingers like this, if you go like this, it'll, you can press buttons. If you go like this, it'll make fists. I really like that because it was a step-by-step and it showed you exactly what it could do versus just throwing you in there and saying, press B to make a fist or press this to make a fist. I like how it physically showed you and stopped you and made you do it.
Okay.
And the tutorial video, because it was quick, it showed, not video, but like it took you right to that and you only could do that at that time.
Okay. Anything positive about the other ones that you saw?
The tutorials?
Yeah. Like moving objects, or what was the other one?
It was the beginning?
Deleting things, adding items.
Oh, okay, that was all fine. Yeah, that was all like straight to the point and simple.
Okay,
yeah,
cool. So the fact that they were simple was good.
Yeah, it was straight to the point. Yeah, because you don't want something that's like, all right, I have to do this like 3 times to get the idea. Like I get the idea after maybe once or twice.
Okay. And what was not helpful during the tutorials? I know you've already talked about a couple of things, but
besides anything else that I mentioned, I think that was it. Just being able to kind of go through the tutorials really quick and not really pay attention is not a good thing. So then how do you figure it out? I'm sure you can, but how do you figure it out? If you skipped it really quick, like go back to it. Because once I pressed that menu button, and all the things that it had here disappeared and just my hands were there. Mm-hmm. Right? So once I pressed that menu button and went to those 2 tutorials, then the hands with telling you what it does disappeared. And then the hands you just saw regular hands.
Yeah.
So how do you get back to that if you just kind of like dismiss it or not really pay attention to it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So basically, like you were talking about earlier, being forced to actually do it, and maybe you do it a couple times before you're able to.
Because then you can eliminate confusion.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So forgive me if I'm already like asking the same question, but like, how would you improve these? What would be your
improve the tutorials?
Yeah. So like, how would you make them better?
Like I said, just forcing you to go through certain tutorials, showing you the basics. Like you can say like, this is the basics on how to run or to make your home yours or to edit the space. And then say like, if you want to know more, please go here. Like this is where you would go to like more in depth. Like have all the tutorials to show you everything so you're 100% comfortable, but also just like give you the freedom of saying you don't have to go through everything right now, but go through the basics so you understand like what the purpose is for, and then you could go deeper when you want to, if you want to.
Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting. So you're saying that like you would kind of want it more divided a little bit, where you kind of had them all together, and you would want like, hey, these are the basic things, and this is where you go if you want more stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the worst thing I need is like, for example, like Minecraft, right? Because I played it when I used to play it with my son. When you start a new like thing in Minecraft, it takes you through all the tutorials of the entire, like how to get started, how to make like food, how to chop wood and all that stuff. But if you did it already, you're just making a new one because you just made a new one for whatever reason, you can't move forward without doing every single thing. And sometimes it's a little annoying because if you know what to do already, you're forced to go through the whole tutorial before you start, like unlocking everything else. And you want to give that option, like, all right, here are the basics, and then if you want more, here's more. Because what if you took this Oculus and you went to somebody else's house, right? And you're like, oh, I'm going to bring my Oculus. And because this is the first time you set it up with somebody else's thing, would you have to go through the tutorial again? You know what I'm saying? Like that's. I'm thinking so because everything is saved on here, right?
Okay.
So if there wasn't a laptop and if it was
like you hooked it up to a different PC.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I'm confused with because I know you have to sign into the app. Is it storing all the information on the app so you can go to computer, like jump from computer to computer? Or if you wanted to just bring this to your friend's house, could you? Or if not, would you be forced to go through the tutorial over again even though if you had to do everything? Right? So kind of like forcing you but not forcing you if you already know the basics and you're familiar with it, you shouldn't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, just to give you that option.
So, tell me if I'm wrong. It sounds like, you're just not quite sure how it'll function. Like, if you go and use it at a friend's house.
Yeah, right, because this is portable.
Like, what will it do? Will it show you the same thing? Will it not show you the same thing?
Right.
And if it doesn't, do you have any idea about, like, how you would get it to show you that again, if you wanted it to?
It would be setting up, like, a new account. The only thing I could say is that once you launch it, if you signed in your account, is it saving it on the cloud, so to speak, or, like, the website? Like, all your information? Or is it storing it on your computer?
What do you expect?
If it's asking to sign in, I'm thinking a little bit of each.
Okay.
Like your basic information, like you as a user, maybe your avatar. But as far as the games, I think that would be saved on your computer because it would be downloaded to your hard drive.
Okay. So you feel like basically it should be able to save it on your account. So if you put it onto a new PC, it will not show you that tutorial automatically.
Yeah,
okay.
Like it already registered, like, all right, this is a new PC, but this is you're logged in as you, so you don't have to go through this whole thing again. The only time you should have to go through it again is if you literally just said, here, you know what, I don't want this anymore, like, or I'm selling it. And then that person's setting up a new account for their own, and then they will go through the whole spiel as, like, if it was brand new. Because they've never done it before.
Okay. So then you would be able to, like, choose for them.
Yeah.
If you want them to do it.
Yeah.
Where would you expect to be able to choose that?
Choose whether or not to see the tutorial again?
Yeah.
Inside the home.
Okay, so you go in home,
you
like press that button and then go in there.
Yeah, because I don't know if this is correct, but I think once I pressed and I viewed it, it kind of like checked it off and graded out.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't try to go through the tutorial again, but it would be nice to have that option to view the tutorial again if you needed to. Right, because I'm thinking like if you had this and you were in the middle of the tutorial and you took it off your eyes or did something and you weren't paying attention to it, is it going to pick up where it left off or kind of play out as you're in the middle of it? You know, like if you're playing a game and you're on live, you can't pause it, so you kind of put the controller away and you walk away and then you're missing whatever's going on because you don't have that option of pausing. Or is it going to allow you to like reset, or if you weren't really paying attention, are you like, wait, what's that? What? I didn't see what it said, and then redo the tutorial. That's
something you would want. It's not
there. So give you the option of playing it again.
Okay.
To revisit.
So follow-up question to that: as you were going through the tutorials, did you ever feel any haptic feedback?
No.
So like any buzzing or anything?
No, I don't think so. Buzzing in like sound buzzing or like
buzzing on your controllers?
Not that I was aware of. Okay, not sure. I didn't pay attention to it.
All right. So now that you've kind of done it, is it clear to you now, like how you would return? I think we just talked about that.
To return to
tutorials.
Oh yeah. I pressed the menus button and it had tutorials in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of last question about like those specific tutorials. But what do you think would make it clear or easy for you to actually return to it?
To return to those tutorials
or
without
feeling it's easy enough.
Here, I think having a home space, if that's your home space, if you weren't sure how to do something, having like a help desk, like a desk you could go to, like in your
like a physical.
Yeah, like inside your house, and if you wanted help with something, right? Maybe if it was on like a computer, right? Because where does everybody go to when they need to find something, right? They hop on their phone or they Google something, they go on the computer. Okay. So having like a health center, kind of, but like nicely done, and then you would walk inside your virtual home, and then you can like go on the computer, and it would tell you like it would bring you to the tutorials of ways to help, right?
Okay.
If anybody needs anything, they go to the computer first or the internet first, because I do that. If I'm not trying to do something, I'll just Google it. Okay. Right? That's your source of help. So I would relate that to a computer in your virtual home. if you needed help without pressing this button here, you can go and find that computer to virtually help you navigate.
Oh, interesting. So would you even want that to be connected to the internet? So like you could be able to go onto a virtual computer in your virtual help desk?
Yeah,
like
why not?
search.
Yeah.
Okay.
It could have like in-house things, but also like internet things. Because I remember another question was, did you know you were connected to the internet? I put like neither something like middle because I didn't know if I was connected to the internet because it didn't make it like visually like in my face to say like, oh yeah, you're connected to the internet. So I wasn't sure if I was connected to the internet. Or because this is also with Facebook, I was thinking like if you're in your home and they expect you to spend time on your home, having a computer like in the house, and if this is directly connected with Facebook, having something along the lines that if you get in like alerts or anything like that, it would pop up on your home screen in your virtual house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so switching more to kind of about the home space again. I know we've talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
But, what did you like and what did you dislike about that home space? Kind of how it looked and was set up, and also like what you could do there.
I didn't like the way it was set up because it wasn't for me. It was just kind of populated as one. Like I said, I would like the option of creating a house for the first time where it kind of gave you the basic idea, like, oh, pick your flooring, pick your walls, like the basic, a couch, small things, to where you may not have all the control of everything you may like, but at least you have some kind of input on the way your house starts out. I did like the idea of you being able to customize your own house, but I didn't love anything as far as them throwing me into something that was already like pre-made.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in comparing that, would you rather have had maybe kind of like nothing and then you built it up yourself
that would
rather
be
than
great. Yeah.
a template?
Yeah, that would have been great because then they would have really showed you like this is what the home space is, this is how you can edit it, and they could have took you through the tutorials that way instead of throwing you in with these and saying, oh, this is what you could do, but taking the videos and showing like this is the step one to moving an object, right? Like, oh, you can pick your couch, right? But before you pick your couch, where would you like it? And then saying, well, if you press this and click it, you can move the couch over to the left side or something like that. And then you're going through this tutorial, but you're also designing your house so it doesn't feel like you're like, oh, I have to do this.
Interesting.
You know, so making it like a seamless thing.
And you said that would have actually helped you
Like,
understand.
oh, this is a space for me that I can decorate, not think like, oh, what is this pirate thing? Is it a game? Like at first, because that's what I thought. Like oh, that's why. Because I was pressing that VR shooting hotshot or something, and I pressed the wrong thing, and it brought me into the space. I'm like, what's the space? I didn't know what it was at first. Yeah.
Cool. So the main thing you didn't like is that like the space wasn't for you. Was there anything else you didn't like about it? About how it worked, how you moved around, anything else?
No, I think that everything else, the logistics of it and like the basic core of it was pretty self-explanatory and easy to get once I understood. I just didn't like they just kind of threw me into like, if it's supposed to be my space, it should have took you by step by step.
And that purpose, like knowing that purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, is there anything else you would want to improve on it other than what you just talked through?
How to like unlock and get other things. I'm sure that probably exists. I'm not, but like how do you get more things? Like how do you change simple things? The flooring, the color of the wall. Do you get an automatic theme and you cannot change that kind of stuff? Like what are the limitations to what you have and what you can do?
Okay.
Is it fully customizable or you're just getting like a house pre-made for you? Just like something like that. To explain a little bit further.
Okay. Almost done. Just a couple more questions.
Okay.
Is there anything you didn't see there that you would expect to see or like want to see?
In the home?
Yeah.
Something that's like, because it was asking me like, how did it feel like it was for you? So just different ways that it would speak to me as in me. So I don't know. It just felt very simplistic. So maybe having the options of adding things that make it more detailed to you.
Okay.
right? So I was mentioning it earlier, to have some kind of like quick survey, like do you like modern? Do you like traditional? Do you like this? Do you like that? And if it's going to make a pre-made home for you where you can edit, to have something to learn, like to learn you, so like what you like and what you even if it's going to set a basic design for you and say, you know what, you don't have to keep it, but based on these questions, this is what like the preset home is going to be for you, but you can start from scratch and start a brand new home.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right. Last question for you. So imagine that sky's the limit in terms of what it could be or what it could do. What would make you want to spend like more time in that virtual home space? So you mentioned that like you probably wouldn't spend a lot of time there, and you would just go play games.
Yeah.
So is there anything that would make you spend more time there? Like, what would you want?
I would want the achievements and stuff like that, like to see what I achieved. Like I said, maybe a computer area would be cool, hooked up. Maybe like a TV in there, because there's TV. It sounds bad, but the TV is like a main staple in every room of my house. Like every room has a TV. Now some people don't like TVs in like their kids' bedrooms and stuff like that, but we're big on electronics, so maybe having an option of having a TV and having the TV like hooked up to something. I don't know, like I'm one person that keeps that TV on and has like it's background noise while I'm working on. If I'm working on my computer, just have the TV on just cause.
Okay.
Right? So maybe having that to make me feel like this is more of my house, something that I like. So having the ability to add things that you have in your house the way it would be in your virtual house. I would want a computer in there, a TV in there, maybe even like a wardrobe that I can show like these are the different outfits I bought from like my avatar. Even maybe like a door to kind of like visually show you, because they were saying that you could connect with like other friends and maybe visiting other friends' homes, so like a door that you can walk out to into the virtual world. Just like, oh, you're leaving and you're going to, who would you like to visit or something like that, and then you can click on a friend's home to visit. What else?
Okay, so even like a physical manifestation of like a door, so you can move from there to somebody's space,
or
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, just a collection of like, it can't be personal, but as far as like personal, the things you have virtually personal. Mm-hmm. So saying like the collection of games, or even like the achievements or the awards that you've gotten, just like things that you can get as personal as possible to have in your own home, right? Because then what's a home if you don't have anything in it? Do you call it a home if it's nothing personal, right? Because if I go on vacation, I'm staying at the hotel, I'm not going to call that my home, because that's not where I am. I don't know, it's hard to explain, right? Because any space can be your home, but what makes it a home is stuff, like who's inside and the stuff that you have inside that makes it home, right? So if it doesn't feel personal to be home, then is it really home? Even if it's just a virtual home, then I wouldn't even call it a home. That's why I wouldn't spend any time there, because it doesn't virtually have any of my virtual stuff in there. That's why it would just be a space that I've entered into and then start a game. But to physically stay there would have to have like certain things in there to make me want to be there, right?
Okay.
And stay, yeah.
Cool. I think that's really, really great feedback.
Thanks.
I think that's it for me today.
Okay,
That was
cool.
like the last question to go through with you. Thank you so
Thanks.
much for talking to me about all of this and bearing with me with the technical difficulties. Let me just turn this off and I'll walk you back out.
Okay. I'm going to take a though.
Yeah, you can take anything you want.
This is good.
Okay.
This will help with my headache a little. With the
Oh,
salt.
yes. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah, so